We're in the Minneapolis airport, where Officer Dylan Thomas is speaking with 37-year-old airline pilot Gabriel Schroeder. According to police reports, 2 hours earlier, Schroeder, seen here, was getting ready to board a flight he was scheduled to pilot when security told him they were doing random searches of both crew and passenger luggage. Schroeder told the TSA agent he wasn't ready to board and left the screening area. Suspicious, the TSA agent notified an airport detective. Schroeder made his way to a men's bathroom and exited about 30 seconds later. He then returned to the screening area. Meanwhile, officers checked the bathroom for anything suspicious and found an unopened bottle of vodka in the bathroom garbage can. By this point, Schroeder had already made it through security and, along with several passengers, boarded the plane. Airport police boarded the plane to speak with Schroeder, who said he hadn't had a drink in 3 days. But according to TSA crew members, he behaved erratically, and officers smelled alcohol on his breath. The passengers were told to exit the plane, and Schroeder was taken into custody, where he was given a breathalyzer test. Now, Officer Thomas sits down with Schroeder, who's no longer in his pilot's uniform, to get the truth.
Before I ask you any questions, you kind of just want to tell me kind of what's been going on and just start over. And
yeah, I know I had one bag and I knew that it's legal to bring it through there, but I guess I was more than anything just embarrassed to have it.
Yeah.
So I did throw it out. So I apologize. I honestly, I don't know how I still have or possibly had alcohol on my breath yet, because I did have drinks yesterday afternoon, but
okay. What time about did you have your last drink yesterday?
Like 6 o'clock in the evening.
Okay. And how many did you have?
Well, that was like my last drink I had. I think I had 4.
4?
Yeah.
About 4.
Yeah.
And what were they?
It was I had 1 beer and then 3 mixed drinks.
Okay.
Schroeder had originally told police it had been 3 days since he had a drink. Now he says he was drinking the previous night.
Did you feel any of the effects still today?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm blown away.
Have you ever flown an aircraft while you felt any effects from alcohol or anything
No.
else? Okay.
No.
And then, is there any reason why you're dishonest with us on the flight? Because I asked you numerous times, kind of, had you been drinking? When was the last drink? You told me Saturday.
I just was embarrassed,
Okay.
This was,
Thomas is ready to give Schroeder the results of his breathalyzer test.
So basically what's going to happen is you're not going to jail with anything. Minnesota Statute 360, which is operating an aircraft under the influence of alcohol. The threshold for an aircraft is .04. So
right.
0.04 compared to 0.08 in a regular vehicle. Right. Your preliminary breath sample was a .065, just so you know. So that's where we're going to go. You're going to get booked, just fingerprints, photographs, and then you'll be released. And then you go from there. What'll happen is once your blood test results come back in, what'll happen is somebody will be in touch with you once we get those results back and let you know.
When Schroeder's blood was tested, it came back at .027, which is within the legal limit to operate an aircraft. But since Schroeder's blood was taken 2 hours after speaking with police, investigators asked a forensic scientist to conduct a retrograde extrapolation, which would determine the blood alcohol level at the time of Schroeder's arrest. Those results were between .04 and .08, which is beyond the legal limit. Schroeder was charged with operating or attempting to operate an aircraft while under the influence of alcohol, a gross misdemeanor. He was found guilty and sentenced to 1 weekend in jail, 30 days home detention, and was ordered to attend AA meetings and submit to random tests by the FAA. He's no longer employed by the airline he was working for at the time of the incident.
Deep breaths, okay? Deep breaths.
Next, we're in Tampa, Florida, where 42-year-old Tyrone Johnson is being interrogated by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office about the murder of his girlfriend, 34-year-old Stephanie Willis, and her 10-year-old son, Ricky Ryan Willis. According to police, 4 hours earlier, Johnson dialed 911 to report that Stephanie was attacking him. When they arrived, police found Johnson, an ex-Marine, sitting in the entryway. Inside, the bodies of Stephanie and Ryan were laid side by side, both dead from gunshot wounds. Today, detectives Joe Floyd and Dave Kennedy are interrogating a seemingly distraught Johnson.
Can you tell me what happened today?
It's not argument.
Who's we? You and Stephanie?
I changed the TV.
I'm sorry.
I changed the TV
You changed the TV?
to football.
Okay.
And she said, I see why your son killed himself like a bitch. Because you're a bitch. And I called my dad. And I said, come and get me in the morning.
In the morning?
I'm packing my stuff.
Okay.
And I was getting my stuff. And she began to hit me. And she was going to throw the PlayStation at me.
Packing up your stuff. She says some nasty things to you. It sounds like. You said you had a son at one point?
My own son committed suicide 10 months ago.
10 months ago? I'm sorry, man.
As he was packing to leave, Johnson says Stephanie was holding a video game console and about to throw it at him.
The gun was this.
The gun was right next to you?
Yes.
Okay. And then, so she had the PlayStation like this?
Yes.
And then you just grabbed the gun and just started firing? Okay. Do you remember who you hit first? Okay.
I just thought
As detectives take a break from the interrogation, technicians confiscate Johnson's clothes for evidence. And Kennedy and Floyd continue with some tough questions for the suspect. Johnson's story doesn't line up with the evidence collected at the scene, which shows that Ryan's death was no accident. Blood and shell casings indicate Ryan was killed in a different room than his mother, that his body was moved after the fact.
There's also evidence to show that the young man was more than likely trying to get away from you. There's blood on the bottom of his socks. Okay? There's blood in his bedroom. What it appears is the body was moved. Did you move that body? There's a picture that you're painting right now, okay? The one light is this, what you told me, okay? You're a war veteran. You made a mistake tonight, okay? A tragic mistake. The other side of this is Tyrone's a cold-blooded murderer who killed a child tonight. Where do you want to be? Do you want a tragic situation where it's bad? Or do you want Tyrone is manipulating everything?
An emotional Johnson sticks to his version of events, but becomes less responsive.
I didn't kill him in his bedroom, sir.
I got shell casings in Ryan's room.
I didn't kill him, sir.
Johnson was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, second-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and shooting at, within, or into a building. He pled not guilty. 3 years later, at trial, the prosecution argued that Johnson shot Ryan while the boy hid under his bed after hearing Johnson shoot his mother. Johnson was convicted by a jury of all charges and sentenced to death. Tyrone Johnson is currently one of 299 people awaiting execution in the state of Florida. He continues to appeal his conviction.